Area 51. We've all heard that name before, haven't we? It is one of the most secretive locations on Earth. For decades, the US government denied its existence entirely. Hidden deep in the Nevada desert, this remote base became the center of rumors involving alien technology, experimental aircraft, and classified military operations. But what makes Area 51 so terrifying is not just what people believe is hidden there, but how long the truth was officially denied. Stay tuned as we uncover the deepest, darkest mysteries of Area 51 and what it has now become. Area 51 was born in an era defined by fear, secrecy, and the constant threat of nuclear war. In the early 1950s, the Cold War was escalating, and the United States was desperate to gain an advantage over the Soviet Union. Intelligence was everything. Knowing what an enemy was building, where it was deploying weapons, and how prepared it was could mean the difference between survival and destruction. Deep in the Nevada desert, far from cities, roads, and prying eyes, the US government found the perfect location. The barren landscape around Groom Lake offered natural isolation, clear skies, and miles of empty land. Groom Lake is a large, dry salt flat in Nevada, and it seemed like the perfect location. Theories suggest that it was here that a highly classified testing facility was quietly established. Official maps left it blank. Workers were sworn to silence. Even its existence was denied. The original purpose of Area 51 was not aliens or flying saucers, but advanced reconnaissance. Even though aliens weren't the goal, what will come later in the video will shock anyone to their core. The United States needed aircraft capable of flying higher and farther than anything the world had ever seen. Traditional planes were easy to detect and easy to shoot down. What was needed were machines that could reach the edge of space, capture intelligence, and return without being touched. Engineers, scientists, and military planners were brought together under intense secrecy to push the limits of aviation. Every flight and every failure was hidden behind layers of classification. At the time, secrecy was considered a matter of national survival. If the Soviets discovered what was being built, the advantage would be lost. Yet the extreme secrecy surrounding Area 51 had an unintended consequence, and that consequence was something no one expected. Strange aircrafts flying at impossible altitudes began appearing in civilian skies. With no official explanation, rumors filled the silence. And from those rumors, a legend was born, one that would grow far beyond its Cold War origins. The secrecy that gave birth to Area 51 did not end with its construction. In many ways, it was only the beginning. What happened behind those guarded fences would permanently blur the line between cutting-edge technology and the unknown. The first aircraft tested at Area 51 were unlike anything the public had ever seen. The U-2 spy plane was designed to fly at extreme altitudes, so high that it could photograph enemy territory while remaining beyond the reach of Soviet defenses. When it took to the skies, commercial pilots and civilians occasionally spotted a strange silver object gliding far above them. At that height, its shape and speed did not resemble any known aircraft. With no official explanation, reports of unidentified flying objects began to surface. As technology advanced, so did the projects hidden within the desert. Area 51 became the testing ground for stealth aircraft, machines engineered to evade radar and appear almost invisible. The angular shapes, sharp turns, and silent movement of these aircraft only deepened the mystery. To untrained eyes, they did not look human, made it all. Every test flight was conducted under strict secrecy. Pilots signed lifetime confidentiality agreements. Engineers worked in isolated compartments, often unaware of the full scope of the projects around them. Failures were erased. Successes were buried. The irony is impossible to ignore. In trying to hide revolutionary technology from foreign enemies, the military unintentionally convinced the public that something far stranger was happening, just like Stranger Things. Well, that may have some truth to it. And as each new aircraft pushed further beyond what was believed possible, the legend of Area 51 grew darker, feeding speculation that the base was not just testing advanced machines, but something not entirely of this world. And anyone who has heard the name Area 51 has heard that NASA was involved in it. During the early years of the space race, NASA and the US military were not operating in isolation. Their goals overlapped, Their data intertwined, and their research quietly crossed paths in ways the public was never meant to see. While Area 51 remained officially a military installation, the information gathered there proved invaluable to early space exploration. High-altitude flight data from experimental aircraft helped scientists understand how machines and humans function near the edge of Earth's atmosphere. NASA engineers were deeply interested in what Area 51 was uncovering. Materials tested on classified aircraft were later adapted for spacecraft heat shields. Propulsion concepts explored in military programs influenced rocket and re-entry design. Even human endurance data collected from pilots flying at extreme altitudes helped shape safety protocols for astronauts preparing to leave the planet. Officially, NASA has always denied any involvement with extraterrestrial technology or recovered alien craft. On paper, their work was scientific, transparent, and peaceful, but the problem was never what NASA admitted. It was what remained classified. The overlap between civilian space research and secret military testing created a shadow zone where information moved quietly beyond public oversight. To many observers, the secrecy felt deliberate. If Area 51 was only about aircraft, why did space agencies need access to its data? Why were materials and propulsion studies shared behind closed doors? And why were so many documents sealed for decades? This intersection of space exploration and military secrecy denied alien involvement, but it did raise more suspicion than necessary. As experimental aircraft pushed the limits of speed and altitude, people living near the Nevada desert began seeing things they could not explain. Strange lights drifting silently across the night sky, objects that hovered, then vanished in an instant, craft that moved without wings, without sound, without logic. For decades, reports poured in from civilians, pilots, and even military personnel stationed near the base. Some of these sightings were later quietly explained. High-altitude test flights of the U-2 and other classified aircraft created visual effects never before seen. Sunlight reflecting off silver fuselages at extreme heights made planes appear as glowing orbs. Stealth prototypes produced sharp angles and movements that confused observers. These explanations fit some cases, but not all. Other sightings refused to align with known technology. Witnesses described objects accelerating instantly, changing direction without slowing, or hovering for long periods before shooting straight upward. Radar operators reported unidentified targets appearing and disappearing over restricted airspace. In some cases, military pilots claimed to have tracked objects that outperformed every aircraft in the U.S. arsenal. This gap between what could be explained and what could not is where fear and speculation took hold. If Area 51 was capable of producing technology so advanced it mimicked alien craft, then how much more advanced could it be now? And if it was not human technology, then what exactly was being observed? Official responses rarely satisfied the public. Statements were vague. Investigations were closed quickly. Witness accounts were dismissed or quietly buried. Over time, Area 51 became more than a military base. It became a symbol, a place where the unexplained gathered and where unanswered questions multiplied. Even the famous TV series, The X-Files, had certain elements that had Area 51 and extraterrestrial involvement written all over it. Whether the sightings were misidentified aircraft, secret projects, or something else entirely, the result was the same. Area 51 became inseparable from the idea that humanity may not be alone, and that the truth, whatever it is, has been deliberately kept just out of reach. And after decades of silence, something remarkable finally happened. The government spoke, but only just enough to deepen the mystery. In 2013, the United States officially acknowledged what many already believed, that Area 51 was real. Declassified CIA documents confirmed the base had been used to test experimental aircraft during the Cold War, including programs whose existence had once been denied outright. For the first time, the name Area 51 appeared in official records, validating decades of speculation. But the admission came with limits. The documents revealed only fragments of the base's history, carefully selected and heavily redacted, while the military confirmed the development of advanced reconnaissance and stealth aircraft. It also made one thing clear: much of Area 51's activity remains classified to this day. Even projects from more than half a century ago are still considered too sensitive to fully disclose. This partial transparency raised new questions rather than closing old ones. If the base was only about aircraft testing, why keep so much hidden? Why continue restricting airspace and expanding facilities decades after the Cold War ended? And why do officials openly admit that certain details can never be released? The military's acknowledgement did not end the story. It reshaped it. By confirming Area 51's existence while withholding its full purpose, the government reinforced the belief that something extraordinary lies behind those fences. Whether that secret is advanced human technology or something far more unsettling remains unknown. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the legend alive. But you know we can't end the video without discussing what conspiracy theorists say about this place. When information stops, imagination takes over. And around Area 51, imagination has thrived for generations. The most infamous theories claim the base holds recovered extraterrestrial technology, even alien bodies retrieved from crashes like Roswell. Believers argue that no human program could advance so quickly without outside help. They point to sudden leaps in aerospace technology as evidence of reverse engineering, machines built not from human design, but from something discovered. Others go further, suggesting secret agreements between governments and non-human intelligence, exchanges of technology for silence or access. These ideas live at the edge of belief, fueled by whistleblower claims, leaked documents, and decades of unanswered questions. More grounded theories pull the mystery back to Earth. Some researchers believe Area 51 is testing weapons, drones, and surveillance systems so advanced they appear unreal to the untrained eye. Hypersonic craft, directed energy systems, and autonomous machines could easily resemble science fiction. Yet no matter which theory you consider, they all share one truth. Area 51 has never fully revealed its purpose, and until it does, the line between conspiracy and reality will remain dangerously thin. Today, Area 51 remains active. Satellite images show expanding infrastructure. Flights continue to arrive and depart in secrecy. The base is still heavily guarded, and its airspace remains restricted. Whatever is being tested now is considered too sensitive to reveal. So what do you think? Is there any extraterrestrial involvement in Area 51, or is it just a joke? Comment your thoughts below and let others know how well you know your history, and subscribe for more content like this.